I'm more alive than ever before. Welcome into my Commodore 64. My friends are knocking down my door to get into my Commodore 64. It's mine.
The early C64 ads were slightly overpromising. Today, we'll see how hot chicks really would have reacted to your first basic programs. Please enjoy your stay. This is the Retrospective. For this treatment, we'll be using Virtual C64 emulator, and if you're wondering about the white text color, it comes from the Action Replay module. We all began as C64 lamers, and only few chosen ones reached Gurudom. Every story begins from the beginning, the first steps. This is the stuff we all did in the beginning. Printing stuff out onto the screen, rudimentary, short loops, etc. Then some poking around. And poking the text color. The next step up would be manual gaming. Manual gaming was about first drawing some kind of playground, for example here a racing track, and then playing manually with cursor and arrow keys. And now the race begins. Only one player. Now it sounds a bit weird, but we actually did this quite a bit. The logical step up would be to produce the playground programmatically. For example, like this. And then we would play, here collecting the hearts. Let's see what a hot girl would say to this now. Hello? Hello? Confession. The female commentators I had reserved somehow lost their interest once they found out this thing was about some retro computing stuff. But I guess this represents the reality of our youth. No matter how cool our first programs were, people weren't actually knocking down our doors in order to see them. So we'll turn to every nerd's best weapon, imagination. I believe she might not yet be impressed, hypothetically. Moving forward to entry-response programs. Here is a typical entry-response program. This one lets player guess a random age between 10 and 80 years. So let's give it a run. Okay, getting closer. What can it be? Oh, bummer. Off by 2. Let's try that again. Okay. 60, 30. Okay, getting closer. 40. 40. Oh, hey! I made it. Great. Yeah, she's still lukewarm. Entry-response programming was relatively easy, which led to overproduction of text adventures. The C64 game base contains almost 1200 text games for C64. Needless to say, most of them. Moving up the pecking order. Mathematical programs were the watershed moment, since I believe most of us actually didn't make this step. And this is okay. A major portion of early C64 users were only 7 to 14 years of age, clearly below when the schools began to teach higher mathematics, like functions. Here I'm trying to produce a sine curve. Hold on, I'm getting there. It's only been 30 years since I did this the last time. Yeah, sine goes from -1 to 1. So I would need to either take the absolute value or add the right amount. So that works too. Let's go see what the chicks say. Nothing? Really? Gee, guys, we really need to step up our game now. Moving on to games. This is my Olympic skier rewrite in BASIC. And this took me actually over an hour to write, so I really put some effort into this. Please observe the level of detail here, how the skier leaves trail after him in the snow, and how the track gets narrower by the time. Pretty cool, right? Yeah, well handled. Ooh, it's getting tighter. Okay, let's go to the curl cam. Yes, finally a breakthrough. Chicks like games. We only have one more step to take. Smooth scrolling. Let's first understand how smooth scrolling works. So it's controlled by the minor bits of memory location D016 or 53270 in decimal. The default value is 200. So we see that the minor bits are actually empty, so we can simply add something to 200 and see the screen move accordingly. Building up from there, we can write a basic program that moves the screen and scrolls the text. Yeah, it looks jerky, because basic sprint command is so slow. Let's slow this thing down. And we actually see that it's the printing part that is problematic, that causes a jerk. And this is where we would need assembler programming, a topic for another episode. She likes it! Sweet! True love is hard to find, they say. Human relating fluctuates between ups and downs. Maybe that is the backdrop of our lives. Ice and passion.